Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Justin Lee and I'm a third-year DPT student at Azusa Pacific University. Here you'll find videos on fitness, physical therapy, and lifestyle that help inspire self-change. So this video I'm super excited about because I got to collaborate with the Pre-PT Grind. Now these guys are super amazing because if you are interested in physical therapy related of anything a physical therapy related school, these guys are the resource to check out. So that means if you're a pre-PT student, undergrad student, a high school student, or even someone who's just interested in physical therapy school, you have to check these guys out because they provide so much information and provide so much value to this demographic that it's like if you're not using them as a resource, you're doing it all wrong. And I vouch for these guys because their stuff is pretty damn amazing. So definitely check them out. I'm gonna put them in the description. Worth your time. So these guys are all about providing resources and tools to help students' success in pre-physical therapy school or to get in. And so they have what's called an accepted system. And basically what that is they provide one-on-one coaching or private coaching to help you who's struggling to get into school or who doesn't know or who needs guidance to get into pre-physical therapy school and helps you with like your paper, your essay, how to get your low GPA to a high GPA, how to get your letters of recommendation, all that kind of stuff they provide for you. So if you're trying to get into school and you really want that leg in, check them out. It's actually funny because I started all these pre-physical therapy videos and started up this YouTube channel and started to be really consistent. And these guys found me and said, hey dude, let's make a video together. And it's crazy what this world is like all you have to do is just send some emails back and forth, some messages back and forth on these social media platforms, and boom, you're collaborating with someone that you would have never thought you would have collaborated before. So I just want to vouch for this social media platform. I love it, and I love that I could collaborate with all of you and all the YouTube comments. So please, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask away. All right, so unfortunately, I couldn't quite get the video and the audio to sync up together, so it's just gonna be a picture and the audio playing. So feel free to watch this on the road, or feel free to listen to this on the road. Don't drive and watch anything like I do. You know, if you're cooking or something, but maybe if you're eating something right now, and if you're eating a piece of pie, put that pie down and grab a seed, because I want you to plant it and have something grow inside you and provide some self-change. All right, guys, here's the podcast. Hope you guys enjoy.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Pre-PT Grind podcast. This is Joseph Gugi, one of the co-founders of Pre-PT Grind. Casey is not on this episode. I know you guys are used to hearing him at the very beginning and me at the end, but man, this is going to be a good one. We have none other than Justin Lee, the man himself from liftforchange, and he's going to talk about his own journey. He's a student, but is a student that's straight hustling. And honestly, I'm excited about this conversation. I think there's a lot that we can learn from each other. But for you as listeners, I want y'all to just hold on tight and just listen to the story of Justin and everything he has to share, the value he has to offer. But Justin, man, first of all, before we dive in, man, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to join me and to join our Pre-PT Grind family to just share your journey as a whole, man.
Thank you so much. I very, very appreciative to be here. And, you know, it's just no coincidence that both our journeys and paths aligned. And I'm just so glad to be serving the community along you too, man.
I love it. Man, Justin, so for a lot of our listeners, a lot of them are pre-PTs. Some are high schoolers that are thinking about physical therapy.
Right.
Take us back to the beginning of your journey, man. Like, where did this begin for you? Where did you decide, hey, like physical therapy is what I want to do? And what were the steps that you took, just in a few minutes?
Right.
The steps that you took to kind of lock yourself into a PT program.
Okay. Well, really quick, I just started I don't know, like most people, they exercise at a young age, and so did I. But the idea of lifting weights was just like really, really important, and it just sparked so much interest to me. Held on to it all the way through college, or it's up until now. But throughout high school, I continued to do that and did some like training, just like to my friends on the side. And I was like, this is kind of cool. And then left that dream. And then went to college, actually dropped out. I went to University of the Pacific as an athletic training major. And I said, this is probably not the place for me. So I left, and then I started working as an EMT and then slowly as a wildland firefighter in Oregon. And then after that, I left that, came back, did some personal training back at 24 Hour Fitness as a first trainer job. And then I was like, okay, like this is cool, like firefighting's cool, but I'm going to need an education because like I can't go, in my mind at the time, I said I cannot go far in places, especially in this field, without educating myself. So already then I found value in investing in academia and knowing that there is a big future in that place. So then after I got accepted to APU and I took my first class in my applied exercise science major. And that is when the fire went boom. Like this, like after the first class, I said, all right, forget EMT, forget firefighting. Like I love this human body aspect, like kinesiology, like that kind of stuff. And then as I was investing in this subject, I said, there's gotta be more. Like I can't just stop at my undergraduate. This is such a complex and such an intricate thing, like this human body and with muscles, bones, all that stuff. I said, there has to be more. And luckily, when I looked into my school, I saw that there was a doctorate of physical therapy program. I said, all right, like, I want to be a doctor. That's cool. Like, I aspire to be at that place. And then so I started to look into what is physical therapy. And, honestly, I actually didn't really know what true physical therapy was until I got into school. And that's something I wish I would have known, which I'll talk about later. But I took like a corrective exercise class, and then my professor told me this is kind of like what physical therapy does. And I loved it, the whole muscle imbalance and all of that stuff, just to scratch the surface of it. And at that point I said, all right, DPT, physical therapy, let's do it. All of my jobs in the past was about serving people and helping others. And physical therapy is just in a line with all that stuff too. So I said, why not? Let's go for it.
Man, perfect, bro. Like honestly, the honest truth was just hearing about your story. So what you're having me think about is students that have, come across our platform that have been non-traditional. And so right. Some of them are doing something very similar. Not all are being firefighters or, some are dropping out of school. But the honest truth is just going down a different path and realizing, there's something else.
Right.
And for you were like, let me go back to school.
Yep.
Let me see what I can find. And it wasn't until you ran into your kinesiology class, you're like, it's over. It's a done deal.
Yep.
And at that point, you were lifting, right?
Say that again?
Yeah. So at that point, you had already been lifting, right?
Correct.
So you were already a big fan of just the human body and everything about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Man, so now you dive into physical therapy. You actually mentioned something in there about you didn't know what true PT was at that time. Would you mind diving into that a little bit?
Yeah, because I was like, well, physical therapy, it's a doctorate program, and I was just like, all right, I want to be at that higher level, and I was just like I don't really know, but I said, let me learn a little bit more. And then I honestly, I kind of went into it a little bit blindly, and it was just no coincidence that when I got into it, it was like, dude, thank the Lord that I love this, because there are so many people. I mean, you hear those stories who go into med school and say, I hate med school, and then they go into being a lawyer. And like, luckily I didn't have to go down that path. And then as soon as I got into physical therapy school, that's when I realized, like, wow, it's literally the name. Like, you are doing therapy, but physically. if that like sums it up.
It's true. And well, it's a beautiful profession. I always tell people that I really do believe that physical therapy is the best profession in healthcare, for so many different reasons, and we can dive into that. But the honest truth is, you stumbled upon it pretty much. And fortunately enough, you picked the right profession.
Right.
But now you did something a little bit more. you got into PT school, and as you were continuing to go, you decided to use like online, very similar to what we've done with pre-PT grind, but you decided to use your online skills that you were just starting to develop to start doing something. Would you mind telling us a little bit about that? Because I said lift for change at the beginning. Some people might not even know what that is. Would you mind telling us a little about what you built, like how you did it, how in the world were you doing it as a student, and how can other students do something similar?
Awesome. Yes, I'd love to share. Well, Lift for Change is my brand. It's like a personal brand, but so basically, I found as we talked about, like lifting has always been a part of my life, and I figured as I learned and got educated, I realized that there are so many benefits to exercise and lifting weights. Not just the aesthetics of looking good and all that stuff, but like, physiologically, psychologically, hormonally, all of that. You get holistic benefits from just exercising. And to me, it was a form of an outlet for stress, but it was also a way to empower others through exercise and just having a healthier lifestyle. And so I kind of harnessed that concept and created this Lift for Change. And it wasn't until my girlfriend, who's my wife now, but at the time, she was like, I see these online challenges and I want to do one of them. And I was like, why are you going to pay hundreds of dollars for that? I will make it for you. So I created what's called this Lift for Change challenge. And that's where it all started. And then this brand of Lift for Change grew from being just this brand to an online platform where they do online fitness challenges. And then after that, recently I started to get invested into YouTube. And then now I said, well, this fitness stuff is great, but I'm in physical therapy school. And then I also realized, man, fitness and exercise and PT are so closely related. Let me bridge this gap because people need to know this. And so I started this YouTube segment for this pre-PT stuff in which we converged in our audience and realized I think I have a lot to offer. And I feel like I could help out and give advice and give a lot of things and share mistakes that I've made that I didn't know about to help others. And so Lift for Change now, kind of evolving, is not only a fitness place, but it's for pre-PT, physical therapy, and lifestyle.
And that's amazing because I think one of the coolest things, bro, is the fact that, 10 years ago, they didn't really have the avenues we have now to do what we're doing. You know what I mean? And and I don't think a lot of us really understand that. You know what I'm like I was talking to another physical therapist who has been doing some online stuff and has done it successfully. What they were doing 10 years ago, and they were like, honestly, a lot of what they were doing was in person. They were doing, the same. Think about it. How many followers do you have right now on Instagram, for example?
On Instagram, I think like 1,400 or something like that.
Okay, so you have 1,400. What about YouTube?
YouTube, I have 400-ish subscribers, a little bit more than that.
Okay, so right now, if you were in a room, let's say about 1,800 people in general, can you imagine how big a room would have to be for you to be talking to 1,800 people?
Wow.
Can you just imagine being at the front of a stage and you have 1,800 freaking people there and you're just offering them value? And it's not value. You're just saying, yo, I read a book. No. This is you saying, hey, this is my life. Mm-hmm. One, lifting is what I do. Mm-hmm. That's one of the things that, allowed me to fall in love with just fitness in general and health and ultimately physical therapy. But also, I got into PT school. Right. So I think I can have a little something to say.
Right.
I think I might know what PT class is.
Just a little bit.
I might know what classes look like. I might know what an interview looks like. It doesn't take a rocket scientist, but all you're doing is sharing your value that you have learned from your journey. And you're standing in front of 1,800 people, and they're right there. That's a big room.
That's a big room. I haven't even thought about it like that.
That's a big room. That's a very, very big room. So So the reason why I'm even highlighting this is because what you're doing is so amazing, but I don't think we appreciate it enough. And really for you, like this should be the norm. What you're doing, and I'm not even saying just to serve pre-PTs.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying that we have this avenue of online. I know a lot have kind of said social media is a bad thing. I think anything can be good or bad. You know,
Right.
Food can be good or bad.
Right.
You know, celery
Right.
can be good or bad.
Right.
Actually, celery is just,
No.
I don't know. I don't know how y'all feel about it.
Peanut butter.
The honest truth is, well, peanut butter is good.
Yeah.
But the honest truth is, anything can be good or bad. It's just about. It's a matter of how you utilize it.
Yes.
And
Yes.
online literally puts you in front of so many people. If you're consistent, you're a third-year student and you're talking to 1,800 people. Which physical therapist do you know right now that constantly speaks to 1,800 people in person? It doesn't exist.
Nope.
But we all have phones. We all got, right now as we record, I'm on a laptop, you're probably on a computer, right? And so we're literally doing this, and then it's going to be then distributed. How you doing, sir? Like then you're literally able to distribute it to a podcast. You're able to distribute it to whatever other avenue we want to utilize this for.
Right.
The honest truth is, we almost have a responsibility to the people that we serve to continue doing it. So for you now, Justin, let's dive into it, man.
Okay.
Like what's that like? Talk to us about the journey of building. Now, you told us how it started. You told us what made it kind of, initiate the fire that started it and kind of why it is what it is. But now talk to us about the process of continuing to build it. What have you been doing to continue building it, to continue increasing your reach? It seems like this is one of the things. But like tell us about that. Because I think a lot of people are just going to start understanding, oh, shoot, I can do this too.
Right. Okay, man, you just uncovered the big box, man. So this is what I love to do. And I don't know, to me, I love the grind. Like that is something I thrive off of, just working hard, putting my head down and just doing the work. And I understand that there's value in that. And I think just generationally, people don't want to do the work. And the thing is, like, PT school is hard. Having a business is hard. Lifting and being consistent with it is hard. But if you put in the time and if you put in the work, you're gonna get the results. And I preach it all the time, like hard work always pays off. And it's like, to me, it's just like, everyone has 24 hours in a day, right? And you can do whatever you want with it. But what I choose to do with it is what I'm doing to invest now for the future. And I think that's a mindset that I developed and really mastered on futuristic thinking. Like if I invest now to work hard and do my homework and to do my studying, then in the future, I'm going to be serving as a physical therapist at a higher degree than someone who's like slacking off right now. Like I'm going to be able to recognize those red flags. I'm going to be able to know and have in my pocket manual therapy skills, Therex, that some other PTs that maybe slacked off and looked over their notes was like, I'm kind of stuck and I don't really know what to do. I'll just go back to the basics. But I'm grinding now because I see the future of like, this is what I do now is going to be, the payout's going to be huge. And that applies not only in physical therapy, but that applies in my business, in Lift for Change, in my exercising. Like we know with exercise, it's preventative care for health reasons, right? Comorbidities, health, heart problems, all that stuff. So I'm exercising for that reason. And then with the business, it's like, well, if I create something now, not only will it pay off later with revenue, but it also is a testament to being able to just walk the walk. Like if you tell me, if you say Justin, they'll describe me like this guy works hard because like that's just what I do. Like I am in school. I understand that, but I'm working hard and like you cannot say that I do not work hard because I grind every single day and I preach it and I can't deny anything about that,
You better preach. preach, bro. Here, man, listeners, y'all listening right now. I don't think y'all understand.
I'm starting to sweat because I got so hyped up here.
Yeah, man. Yo, like y'all have no idea how important this is, because I think we think about getting into PT school as sometimes I feel like we're entitled to it.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just let's be real.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I feel like we're entitled to it. Like, we feel entitled because we've been told that, one, physical therapy is easy to get into. It's not as spectacular as being a physician or surgeon or whatever. And so, number two, we're seeing other people get in. Number three, when there are avenues to help us, we feel like they should just kind of do the job for us. Like, no one believes. Like, you just said it, but like, none of this is easy. Like, getting into PT school, building a platform, anything. And so, understanding that from the get-go and understanding what you're willing to do for it is so important.
So important.
And how badly do you want it? Justin, do you want to impact a lot of people?
Hell yeah.
Cool. Do you want this platform to be insanely beneficial to whoever comes across it?
Hell yeah.
Cool. So are you just going to sit around and just kind of hope that it happens?
I am working day and night.
Heck freaking yeah.
Yep.
So if you're trying to get into PT school at the same level, are you just waiting till the application cycle opens and then saying, oh, shoot, oh, crap, PT Cast opened up. Hey, what's everyone else doing? Hey, what's this? And then when you apply to 25 different schools and then you realize you got rejected from 20 of them, waitlisted at 3, and haven't heard back from 2,
right,
then you're like, what?
What did I do wrong?
I don't get it.
Right.
Like, I know of people that have had 3.8 GPAs that have not gotten into PT school, but it's not because it's not because they couldn't. It's because of this, like, inability to actually just go for it.
Yes.
Like, right now, I know students that have had 2.4 GPAs that have started with 2.4 GPAs that are the one that I'm thinking about right now is starting PT school in a few weeks.
Dude! Hallelujah, dude. That's so awesome.
Yeah, man. So the honest truth is, it's the work, it's the grind, it's being clear on it. But it's understanding that really we have no limits, like, as pre-PTs. And I'm not saying that to hype the listeners up or anything like that. I'm just being real. Because Justin and I clearly get it. Because that's why we got hype on this call right now. Right. But for y'all listening, you have to understand that. There's a term, Justin, that I like to use, man. It's called being impatiently patient.
I like that.
Everything is a straight up marathon. Everything is, man. Right. Like, the application process. Like, do you remember?
I remember, man. I remember. It was a long process. I'm like, how am I gonna do all these classes and get all these GREs and all these letters? I was like, oh my gosh, I should just quit. But I didn't. For real though. Yeah.
Like, real talk, man. But I just do this, man. Like, but being impatiently patient, bro, is simply just saying, hey, like, I'm literally going to act like today's application day. You know, like the necessity that I'm going to play this game with, whether it's building an online platform, whether it's applying to PT school, whether it's you're about to be a PT, so serving people in the clinic, right, doing my residency, like, whatever it is, man, you have to play this game impatiently patient. Right. Otherwise, you'll just watch other people win. Right. You'll watch other people with much lower GPAs get it. You'll watch other people with who you're like, man, but I don't get it. Like, he didn't really have a clear message, killing it online. You'll see, you're like, these are the people that are winning, but success needs clues. So you have to really think about it. But Justin, man, like, now as you're kind of reflecting back, man, what are some of the things that you've just kind of picked up along the way that you're like, yo, these are things I wish I would have heard or learned? Because we love, so one thing that we like is for us to talk to the younger version of ourselves. Right. For this episode, I just want you to just talk to us in general, man. Like, just kind of look back on the last 3 years, 4 years even, and just say, man, like, these are some things I just wish somebody would have shown me or helped me understand, that I've just had to learn from making mistakes, just kind of living and pushing and trying. Like, what would those be, my friend?
Man, you know, I think one of the big things is that, I guess since you mentioned the last, like, 3 years while I was in PT school, it was to like not worry so much about the grade, but to worry about the understanding of the content, of like the material. And I know for pre-PT, like, yes, the grade absolutely matters because your GPA is going to be one of the heaviest weighed things to get you into school. So there is some pressure there, which unfortunately, like, that's like something that we all have to work through when we were at that time. But when I'm in PT school, like, I remember in the very beginning, like, it took me a year and a half to really just let this go. Was like, I gotta get that A. I gotta get that A. Like, and I'm staying up and I'm trying to stress myself out. And, it was kind of at a point where I realized, like, why am I striving to, like, and stress myself out, like, so much where it's unhealthy, where it's like, it's about the grade. It's like, I don't need to know every single tiny detail, but I need to know basically, like, how to be a good clinician. And then the details will come, right? With continuing education and with experience. And you can always reflect back on your notes. But I just, to me, like, I wish that I've learned from the beginning was like, okay, grind hard, but don't do it where it's a negative impact on your health.
It's true. Dang. I think it's just being able to set those boundaries, man, and just knowing.
Yeah.
Just knowing where they are.
Right.
That's out. What do you do, man? What do you do to take care of yourself?
Definitely exercise. So I guess what helps me and going along with that on how I'm able to do all of this while being in PT school was that what helps me to have self-care and self-love is to exercise. And filming is fun for me, so that's a way to de-stress and decompress. Editing is fun for me. And acting, I always wanted to be, I tell my wife, I wanted to be an actor when I grew up or whatever. And, I didn't quite get the Hollywood opportunity, but I said, all right, well, YouTube is something I could do. Like, I don't care who's watching me, but like, if I get one view, that's one person that's not me who's watching me. So I'm an actor.
It's true.
Yeah, right.
You're doing every single time.
Right.
But now you're doing it at a level where you're just able to just do you, man. And you're
right.
just living your life,
Yes.
sharing your message. And now I asked you this before, man, about what you're trying to do, like, long term. And you're still kind of, like, building it out, bro. But who, like who do you want to kind of emulate you? Like who, like, are there people that you're like, man, I want people to just be impacted so much, not only by my message, but by what I'm doing, to the point where they're like, yo, I can actually do something like that as well with people that I'm loving. Like, who are you looking to kind of emulate you?
If I were to target people, because this is a personal testimony of mine, is actually the college dropouts. The people that think they're failures, the ones that have the low GPA, like the 2 point whatever, like the students that you were talking about. I dropped out of college. And then when I transferred into APU, I came in under academic probation with a 2.3 GPA. And I had to make a decision. I said, well, am I going to keep pushing, or am I just going to be satisfactory enough to just get by? Or am I going to freaking put my foot down and beat the odds?
Yeah.
And I think I got lucky with that, with my mentality, and to do that. But I think there are a lot of people that feel like they are not enough, and they feel defined by their GPA or whatever they're doing, and they feel like they want to do more, but there's some motivation or some kind of barrier is just stopping them. And so I want to target those people. Like, I have a heart for those, guys and girls, to really promote belief into them, so that it can empower them to have self-belief for themselves. And I think not only as a student, but just in general in life, like, you can do it. Like, I believe in you. And as a trainer, I see that too. Like, there's, people come to me and they say, hey, I want to lose weight, and I tried all these different things. And it's like, at the end of the day, it's like, well, you just don't believe that you can do it. And so as a trainer and as a coach, it's, I feel that I have a heart for those types of people. And I really, really, try to be there to encourage and support and just celebrate you every single, step of the way. Like, one small victory is a huge victory. And when a huge victory is an enormous victory. And it's just, I love celebrating people along that journey. And those are the people I want to emulate and things.
I don't know how to say that any better, man. That was pure fire, bro. What, as a final question, if you were to have the University of Justin or the Lift for Change DPT program, just kind of think, man, like what are some of the characteristics that the reason why we do this is so that students can hear from somebody else, what they would have, wanted, because the thing is, like, I really do believe that as an applicant, one of the best things you can do is to ask yourself, what would, like, turn the tables. What would I have wanted, or what would I want in an applicant in my program? And it just helps you become that person. It helps you think about the process a little differently. So for you, man, like, think back on when you were pre-PT, but now say you have your own program, you are the chair of your department. What are you looking for in an applicant to your university?
I think the number one thing that I would want in every single applicant that I look for is to embody the phrase act today, not tomorrow. Don't wait till tomorrow, but act today. And, just kind of going off of everything that we've been talking about, it's like, oh, shoot, like the PT cast opened. Oh, okay, now let me get to it. It's like, no, that's acting like, oh, I'm going to wait till tomorrow. But if you're acting today and taking actionable things to do stuff now, like, those little things are going to pay out and be big things in the long run. And, like, I'm a man of action. When I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. If I say I'm going to show up, I'm going to show up. If I say I'm going to change, I'm going to change. And those things and those characteristics, I think, is something that I would really look for in every single applicant if I were to have a Lift for Change university or something. Just to have a mindset of growth. Just not a fixed mindset, right? But a growth mindset. One that is willing to learn, willing to accept that they don't know it all, and the ones that are willing to work hard to have an understanding of what they don't know.
And just, I don't know what else to say, man. You're a bundle of just value, man. And the honest truth is, for those of you that are listening to this that have not, and excuse the phone call in the background, y'all, but for those of y'all that have never listened to Justin, or for those of y'all that have listened to Justin, this man knows what he's talking about. But the honest truth is, success leaves clues. And even for the two of us and our platforms, and Casey and everyone else that's kind of doing something similar with different audiences, like, we have to keep pushing ourselves. We have to keep understanding that it is about that action. It's always about that action.
Yep.
It's about being committed to, like, your commitment has to precede the emotion that follows it, right? So that means that you might decide to do something. You might decide to apply to PT school and feel really good about that moment where you're like, yeah, let's make it happen. But now on the days that you have to study for the GRE or do the hard things, when you're in PT school, when you're creating an online platform, when you have to show up for a live stream and so many different things, and you're like, oh my goodness, I have to do. Well, the honest truth is, the emotion has to be completely taken out of it.
Yeah. And
you have to be so committed to it, committed to the service that you're trying to have, committed to the goals that you're trying to achieve, that nothing else can really sway you. And Justin, you said it best, man. Like, that's what really builds up into this mountain.
Right.
And that's what allows us to just continue to impact more people. That's what allows us, as y'all as future physical therapists listening right now, that's what's going to allow you to impact as many people as possible, not only in the clinics or hospitals that you're working, but also online if you want to use that, or any other avenue that you want. And heck, even your family, right? You have to be able to do that. Do those little things every single day. Schedule them in. If you don't schedule it, it ain't important. So if it's not in your schedule, like why in the world, like you can't expect yourself to do something that you have not required of yourself.
Yes. Like, I always tell people, I said, if it's in my calendar, it's happening. And like my calendar is like I have everything on there, and it's like if it's on there, it's like, there's no question about it. I'm going to show up to that thing.
That's it. Pre-PTs, show up.
Show up. Yep.
Show up. Period. But the honest truth is,
love
man,
that.
This was amazing. Yo, we're going to keep talking.
Yes.
Because you're a cool dude, man.
Thank you, man.
You're also doing something very amazing. So continue to push, man. Even as a third-year PT student, shoot, imagine what this looks like 5 years from now, 10 years from now.
I know.
I mean, we're all not stopping anyway.
Woo, nope.
We're all not stopping. Oh, here's one more thing I want them to hear. Yeah. So these are two guys that are talking right now about serving the same audience. So oh my goodness, pre-PTs need to understand what I'm about to say next. Y'all have to stop playing like scared or this game of scarcity.
Yes.
And I want y'all to understand that this whole game, if you guys want to succeed in healthcare, if you want to succeed as PTs, as PT students, as pre-PTs, you have to understand this. Your journey, period, and everything you are trying to do is not pie. It's a tree. Now, y'all are probably like, what the heck is he talking about? So think about it. Well, we've been trained to understanding that everything is a piece of like it's a pie, right? Which means that if Joseph and Casey have this amount and then Justin has this amount, that means, dang, man, these guys are serving all the pre-PTs. So shoot, like maybe there's one slice. I mean, the honest truth is that's a very terrible way of thinking about everything. Yeah. If you guys are thinking about your journey that way, hold on, let's get deeper. So for pre-PTs, that's, oh shoot, they got in and they had a much higher GPA than me. Dang, there goes my slice of pie. They got in, their GRE score was better. There goes my slice of pie.
Ooh.
I've been out of school for 3 years. They must have better study skills. There goes my slice of pie. And so we start playing the game of scarcity, and it screws up how we think.
Wow.
So we start deceiving ourselves into thinking that it's not there for us. We start deceiving ourselves into thinking that we're not going to get into PT school. Man, listen, like, you are what you think anyway. So if you think it ain't going to happen, it won't.
Nope.
And then you'll justify it by saying, oh, dang, it's because... No, it's because your mindset sucked. So the honest truth is, you have to realize it's not a pie, it's a tree. So now what do I mean by tree? What I mean by tree is we all have the ability to just plant, right? To plant value, to plant our visions, to plant our dreams to become physical therapists. And the honest truth is, when we just are consistent, like what you were saying, Justin, when we're consistent, just daily, just boom, like time after time, just adding value, it turns into trees. Whether those trees are getting accepted into PT school and it's a tree of your career, whether it's a tree of your influence online, whether it's a tree of your family, whatever. Right. The honest truth is trees produce fruit, right? And you guys have to think about this as a tree. And if this is like an apple tree, it's no longer a pie. If I take one apple out, that actually creates more of an opportunity for another apple to grow.
Ooh.
Check it out. The inside of the apple has seeds that I can still plant,
wow.
Which means more trees, which means more fruits, which means, so the honest truth is, that's how this game really is played. So if y'all can understand that, if y'all can understand that this is a game of abundance, then y'all will never lose. If you guys play like this is a slice of pie, then you will actually jeopardize your chances of ever getting into PT school.
Right.
You will jeopardize your chances of ever getting past PT school. You will jeopardize your chance of ever creating the dream that you want, of ever impacting, of even creating the lifestyle for your family that you want. And you'll be like those other 90% of PTs that complain about how much they get paid, complain about the fact that everything is against them, complain about this, that, and the other. And honestly, you end up having a 30 to 40 year career of misery.
Right.
And I don't think any of you guys listening to this right now have at least intentionally signed up for that.
Right.
So y'all gotta start thinking trees and not pies.
Wow.
If you understand that, you can't lose. Justin, where can the people find you, man? Where can the people find you as we wrap this up, bro?
Wait, first up, I didn't know I was going to class today, man. I just got taught.
No, listen, man.
Jeez.
It's how it works, man. It's how the game works. You know what I mean? So, and I think pre-PTs need to understand that in the area.
Yes, absolutely. Wow. Well, preach it, man. Like, I love what you guys are doing, and I'm so appreciative to be on this podcast and to be a part of the journey with the pre-PT grind, and looking forward to more things in the future. But for the listeners who are listening and want to figure out more information about who I am and things like that, you can find me on Instagram and Facebook, liftforchange. That's liftforchange, live for change. And I always say, change people, and that's why we live for change, people.
I like it, man. Justin, bro, it has been an absolute pleasure to have you on the podcast.
Thank you.
This is going to be a good one. If you guys listening to this right now, share this one out.
Yeah.
Share it out with your family, with your friends, anyone that you know it doesn't even have to be a pre-PT, just someone that you feel will benefit from this message, man. We're just trying to serve people, and Justin, you've done just that, man.
Thank you.
Keep giving, keep serving. I look forward to working with you, man.
Thank you. Same.
Let's do some cool things together. You
Heck
know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the honest truth is, man, this was amazing. For those of y'all listening, this has been another episode. I don't know what episode this is, 100 and something. I don't know.
Wow.
But honestly, it is a pleasure to have you guys on this platform every single week. We'll see you guys next Wednesday for another episode of the Pre-PT Grind Podcast. As always, you guys can find us at our website, www.preptgrind.com. That's www.preptgrind.com, and you guys will find access to everything we do. Looking forward to seeing you there. Have a blessed one. Many blessings. Bye.
Peace. Oh my gosh, that podcast was amazing. I love puns. Those of you guys who know me know that I love puns, and I haven't been able to really promote them and push them in my YouTube videos, but I think I'm gonna do it a lot more. So if you love puns, I love puns, and we're gonna get together pretty well. Pretty well. That was bad. Dad jokes. All right, so these guys, the Pre-PT Grind, amazing people, Casey and Joseph. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to meet Casey, but Joseph is amazing, and I know if Joseph is amazing, then Casey is amazing. And I feel like if we were to ever meet at like CSM or anywhere else, like we would like just mesh really well. Had an amazing time on this podcast, so please check them out. If you felt like this podcast has really stirred some motivation or stirred some self-change in you, then feel free to share it, because if it stirred something in you, it's gonna stir something in someone else too. So thank you again for all your support. I really appreciate all of you. Once again, if you have any questions, feel free to subscribe. If you like this video, give this a thumbs up. And if this helped promote some self-change, change people, that's why we live for change, people. Have a great one, you guys.